Hey Habibis, we just finished recording episode 17 and that was a really good one. We're talking about how I wanted to quit alcohol and of course Emil hits me with the have you tried edibles? So that's all I have to say on that. And we talked about going to Mexico and how humbling it is when you don't speak Spanish as a first language. We talked about Zohran Mandani running to as a mayor for New York and I'm obsessed with him. So tune in to hear more about that and about how do you manage your emotions of feeling grief and what's happening in Palestine, and is it okay to still produce and do what you're doing while still feeling sad and advocating? So that's a huge balance there. And the last part was the highlight of the episode is my cousin's wedding in Mexico and how I found my people there. Tune into this, watch it, let us know what you think, leave us a comment, and I can't wait.
Oh, 17.
Yep, episode 17. All right, I have a lot to talk about. So let's just jump right into it. How
You
are
dive
you
right
doing
in.
first? Because I don't think I saw you in like 2 weeks at this point.
I'm fine, but we saw each other so much 2 weeks ago that we did enough. Nothing's changed. I'm good.
Nothing's changed. Okay.
Alhamdulillah, no
Okay.
complaints.
Me too. I am feeling lighter,
Oh,
um giving less fucks about everything and everything. So I think that's actually a good shift.
mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I'm just I'm living the life. I don't know what's happening. I'm not doing edibles. I don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I do actually have an update. I've been feeling like shit every time I drink, and I think that is like one of like interesting things that I'm shifting towards, and I think I'm getting like 99% close to just like cut off alcohol completely because I like the taste. This is what's so weird about it is that like when I drink, I never like drink with the intention like I want to get drunk. Like that wasn't
Mm-hmm.
like that's not the goal for me. Like I genuinely enjoy the taste of like the cocktail that I'm having. Like dirty martini is like my favorite thing. It's just like I like the bitterness with the olives and whatever. So anyway, both my husband and I were at this point where we're like every time we drink, even if it's one drink, literally I would have like one glass of wine and then I would just like feel like shit all night. So we went on a date, like lunch date yesterday. We went on a father's lunch date yesterday because we have a dog.
Mm-hmm.
And then as we were like having like lunch, we were like just on ChatGPT Googling breweries around that like do 0% alcohol because like we still want like the good taste, but like with no alcohol. And like the closest we got is that I think Corona has a beer that you can keep the taste with like 0.5% alcohol, which is extremely low. And I'm like, okay, if I can still get that and like I would try that and like I don't like I still feel okay, I maybe we'll go to that. But anyway, that's kind of like a update. I don't know if that's why I feel better because I'm not drinking as much. I mean, not that I drink a lot anyway, but it could be it too. Um, but
You can
yeah,
always switch over to edibles. Those are a very good sign, and I don't think they have a negative impact on your body like alcohol.
okay,
It's just illegal in some states.
okay. Yeah, I never tried, and I think I've like smoked like a couple puffs in my past. It's I don't call it really like smoking because it was like my early 20s. I'm like I'll try it, but like never did anything. But then again, like I have people around me that they do smoke or do edibles or whatever, and they all like talk about good experiences. But maybe one day, I don't know.
That would be a good episode.
Yeah, maybe one
Just
day. It's
get
just
your
the whole
unfiltered
episode
thoughts.
is like I had a whole box and I just show up and you'll see.
It's unrealistic. A whole box.
Or whatever it is, a whole cookie.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
so
All
that's
right.
kind
So
of
no more
my
drinking. I like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think this is where we're heading. Um, Therapy is going really well. Um, I have a most recent obsession. Um, I mean, if you know me well, you know that I like a new thing, but then I get so obsessed about it, whatever that is, a movie, a show, a song, whatever. So my newest obsession now is Zohran Mamdani, who's running like mayor for New York.
Yes,
And
I love
like,
him so much.
oh my God. Okay, I am so invested. Like, I just want to like fly to New York and volunteer there. Like, I am like, and I never really cared about like to this level, but like, I'm so invested in this guy. Like, I've liked every single video with the hope that maybe it will do something, maybe it will give exposure. Whatever it is, I just want him to win. So, I know
And
the
he's leading in the
election.
polls.
He is.
Mhm.
So I just can't. I am so excited. When is the election? Isn't it Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday.
I don't know, but people are already able to vote now through, I think, June 14th. I feel like it closed, no? I saw someone
Um,
say like you can vote now through June 14 on a social post.
for third,
Wow.
what, June what?
14, meaning it passed.
New York
Yeah,
City
you look it up.
mayor. Yeah, I already in it. Early voting runs from June 14 to 22,
Oh, it
but
starts June 14.
yeah. So Democratic primary June 24, which polls open from I have no idea what that means. Scheduled for June 24. So June 24, I guess, the election day. You know what? Let me go to his profile because I think he had it on there.
Yeah,
Um,
and I hate to be this person, but he's also a hottie. Like I like
oh my
that he like
God, he's everything. He's everything.
yeah.
The election is 624. That's what his profile is
My
saying.
favorite my favorite video is the one where he was like, where Cuomo was like, I see. Oh, you're showing the fans.
Yeah.
Um, I was my favorite video is the one where Cuomo was like, you have no experience, blah blah blah, and he was like, I am not like I have not been accused by 11 women of sexual assault. I have not this, and like you'll put some respect on my name and spelled it out, and I was like, what is this
Yep.
man? Is he married? Oh man, yeah, he's
Yeah.
doing stuff.
He's single, I think, and you might know this already, but did you know his mom was like a director of like some popular movie?
Yeah, I saw that in a post that both his mom and his dad like do big things. Like I think his dad was in politics and then his mom was in cinema. I don't know, but they're go-getters apparently, but I have no idea.
Um, yeah. I don't know which movie it was, but I thought people were like some people like losing it about like, oh my God, his mom, like no wonder. Mira Nair, I guess she's from India, and which movie is it? I don't know. But anyway, obsessed with
My
this
other
guy.
favorite clip
I
that went
Yep.
viral is, sorry, the other favorite clip that went viral is the one where they're all asking him in the debate, like, where's the first place you want to visit? And
Yes.
everybody was like sucking major, Israel balls. And
Hmm.
then he's like, I'm gonna stay right here in New York. Like, I got work to do. And they were like, well, just to be clear, like, are you an anti-Semite? He's like, what the fuck? He's like, no, I want to meet
No,
with
no,
the.
it was weird because, well, first I love his answers are just perfect. Like the guy is just amazing, amazing. I've never been into a guy like a person running for anything this much. First, he gives you the details of the plan of how he's gonna do something. It's not like free
Mhm.
healthcare for everyone. Okay, good. How are you gonna do that? He tells you exactly step by step. He went to the streets to see like the local people who sell like the kebab platters and whatnot. And it's like, how much it cost you? How much it cost you to get a license? And they're like $30,000 a year. And I was like, okay, so and I was like, yeah, I applied for that license 3 years ago. I'm still waiting on a license. And I was like, okay, so how much are you renting? And he's like, I rent from the guy who owns the license. I rent this cart for $30,000. And he's like, okay, if we, a year. And I was like, if you get a license, how much it costs you? And it's like $8,000 a year. So the license is $8,000. He rents from someone who already has the license. He just rents him the location for 30,000 because he knows it takes forever for people to get license. And he was asking me, is like, if you actually get a license, how much would you be selling the plate for? He's like, I could drop it for $2 to $3 cheaper. And I was like, everybody wins because the plate that people used to get for $7, $8, now you can get it for like you're getting it for $10, $11. You can go back to like $7, $8 because it doesn't have to pay $30,000 for someone's. So I just love like how he's explaining like the details of like this is how this would affect you. This is why it's important that you elect me so I can put the pressure so that they get the license so that you can get food cheaper. This is why you should elect me so that I can freeze the rent so that you can save money here and there. This is how you elect me so that actually your building is actually held accountable for a certain standard when you're renting there, because there's buildings in New York that are showing they're just garbage, like like habitable, whatever that word is. Like you can't even live in it. So I just love how he's going in details of like the plan. What he amazing, amazing. He needs to win. If he doesn't win, I'm gonna have to take a day off from work. Now that it affects my life, but I don't know. I'm just so excited. I'm just so excited for him.
Me too.
That's my newest obsession.
I
Um,
share in that.
yeah. So Zohran Mamdani. If you're in New York, please vote for him. Well, I guess you have to, and I'm learning this too. I guess you have to rate. Do not rate whatever that guy is, Andrew Cuomo, whatever, whoever that is. Don't rate him. I don't know who he is, but I hate him because everybody hates him. So that's as far as I know. And just don't rate him and rate everyone else and rate Zoran Mamdani number one. And that's it.
I think I also saw that like somebody posted something like, and we're gonna have to Google this, but if you've been living in New York for like at least 30 days, you have the right to vote there or something. So
Yeah,
any like new transplants can vote.
So I don't know about that because I did see like early on, maybe this is now beyond the 30 days. Um, my obsession with him started like a week before going to Mexico. Like that's
Mm,
like 2 weeks-ish ago. So
mm.
it was that time where he was like telling people like you can still, I don't know, transition residency just to, I don't know, vote, but some people were actually doing that. I don't know how that works or how you change your election, but some people have done that for just that so that they can, I don't know. I don't know how that works. But what I do know is that he better win, and I think he will. He's like leading right now, so super excited. Um, Yes. I love that video too that he just destroyed everyone on stage where everybody's just like, I'm gonna go visit the Holy Land. I'm gonna go visit Israel. I'm gonna go. I was like, okay, got it. And then they got to him and he's like, I'm staying here. Like, I am here to serve the people of New York that elected me. He's like, duh. And then like everybody else was, and then like I guess it was like the whoever's interviewing them or like handling the whole debate. Like her follow-up question was like, so I just want to follow up on your answer here. Like, are you gonna visit Israel? Are you like, what was it? What she said something
Do
about
you, I
like,
don't know,
are you?
support Israel's right to exist or maybe something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, and it's like,
And
yeah, I support. I mean, first, Israel exists, like, period. Like, it's been existing, it's done, it's not going anywhere. I mean, that's not the point that we're talking about. But it's just like stupid that it's actually even a question. But I like his answer. He's like, yeah, I support it. It exists. It's just another country. Okay, great. And they're like,
he
okay,
said, I
but do you
support it as
support it?
long as,
But
no,
then
he said, I support it as long as it doesn't have apartheid state or something like that.
no, they asked him, "Do you support it as a Jewish state?"
Ah,
And then he said, "No, I would support it as a state that has equal right for everyone who's living on it because of my beliefs. I live in a country where it shouldn't be based on religion, so everyone should be equal. I don't think like I mean, to be honest with you, how is that working anyway? Like, are the Jews feeling safer because of that? Obviously not. Neither here or everywhere, or it's just it doesn't make sense that you would just create a country where they're just gonna go live in a bubble and like that's it, I'm gonna feel safe. Like it just doesn't make sense. But anyway, I just love his answer that is more like, no, just be a country. Everybody should have equal rights and drop the whole it's about being Jewish or not being Christian or not being whatever it is. So I don't know. I just love this dude. I am so I can't. Take a minute. Okay, we're good.
the wedding. Tell me about the
The
wedding. You needed like a full decompress. I'm like, no,
wedding.
no.
The wedding was amazing. Um, Actually, it's not just amazing as a beautiful wedding. That wedding. was the best wedding that I've ever been to in my entire life.
She looked so happy. First, we need to backtrack. 'Cause this girl is the only reason we know each other.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. We need to tell that story. So my cousin is actually friends with Amal. That's how like they knew each other from New York, right? You
From
correct me
acting,
on
yeah.
that part from acting.
Yeah.
And then Amal, when she moved to Tampa about a year ago, a year and a half ish ago, my cousin would just like put me on a group chat, and she's like, "I need you to meet someone. Her name is Noel. He's like, here to go." And I'm like, "That's it." And then like I think you messaged me like a week later or maybe 2 weeks, no, maybe like 3 weeks later or something. You're like, can we just like fast forward this friendship and like plan like go out somewhere or whatever? And I'm like, yeah, let's just go. So I just like in that moment was just like, let's just skip through the bullshit. Let's just go straight to it. So that was the moment I fell, and then we met, and then now we're like the bestest friends. Um,
And I think that was the start of also us like developing a rapport where it's like you can be yourself because we were like, if you feel like bailing that day, no worries. Like I know it's weird to meet a stranger. We don't have to meet. We can meet another time. We could just get ice cream. Like we gave each other all the outs
yeah,
possible to meet up.
we still met, and then it was amazing.
It was amazing. It felt like for the first maybe 5, 10 minutes, it felt like a first date where we were like trying to get through the small talk. But I think even our small talk wasn't small. It was like we jumped into what do you do for work, and then from there it was like we were talking about. I have no idea, but we were talking about deep things like dinner one.
You were talking dates, you were talking about life. Um,
We started podcasting right there.
yeah, literally, we just literally we just went deep. We were not like, how's the weather? Yeah, the weather in Tampa is nice. How's the weather in New York? Like, no, we just went deep. It was like all those fucking toxic people that we dated in the past, and like we just went like deep into it and like how it's going and whatever.
You know what also helped? I think it's also, we met, I moved in October 23. So we had a lot of bonding over this, like, what it feels like to be hiding in different types of closets.
Mm,
And
that's true.
so that's I think where we bonded over and it felt like we just wanted our people
Mm-hmm.
and then we found and for you even I remember it was like you were we can cut this out if you're not comfortable with it but like for even that Arab community group that I was a part of, and you were like, I don't think I can join them because they might be homophobic, and I
Yeah.
don't want to, like, you didn't even want to deal with that rejection.
Yeah.
And that hurt my heart. So that goes back to how we started this conversation, where like clearly homophobia is real, and like you have to check. And
Yeah.
so that was where we first bonded, where I was like, well, you're safe here.
That's actually a really good point because it is a valid thing. Something I love the Arabic community, like all the Arabs and like the culture, and I am so like I'm in it. Like I understand it the most. I get it more than people who actually were born here and they think they're more Arab than like me, for example. Not that they do think, but I'm just saying like they're in it and whatnot. And I do feel sometimes that I had to take that step away just to protect more of like my um um what do you call it? Not safety, more of my peace. Because like I
I think
don't
both.
feel like dealing with it. I just don't have time. And honestly, sometimes it's just like if it's a good person like you, like you're Arab, you're a good person, we can share that. Like please welcome to my life. Like let's just do it. Like let's be best friends. But like I don't want to be friends because you're just Arab or whatnot. But that didn't help either that I opened myself up to just Arabs. Like I'm like very picky with the people that we have like in our lives.
As you
So
should be.
so I think that was a big part of that. But speaking of our relationship, before I go back to the wedding, I had my cousins over yesterday. I didn't have them over; they just showed up over. And then
No, haram.
they both ended up sleeping over, just like crashed on the couch. And they woke up this morning, and we were just chit-chatting. And one of the things that we're talking about was like my relationship with you. And I was like, oh, I need to tell Amal that because like the way I just keep talking about you with people, it keeps reminding me like how special this relationship is. Like I love you with all of my heart. I don't know how to explain it. You have added more than 90% of the people that I've met in my life like value into my life. Like who you are and what you think and your beliefs and your attitude and like the joy that like you just call me and the way like you just talk or we're just laughing, whatever it is, like I just feel so energized after talking to you. I just like love this so much. And
I
the
love
other
that.
thing I was telling them, and I know we joke about it, I say like you ruined me. Like I was just sharing with them today when I was at your place and we were like trying to plan to record the first episode of the podcast, and I asked you if you had all the money in the world, like what would you do? Like just like money
Mm.
is not an issue. And you literally just like threw at me like seven different projects that you already have in your brain. Like I'll get a writing people to do this. I'll do this to execute this, and that. And that was such a important moment in my entire life. And I'm not exaggerating because it shifted my brain. Because when you asked me, you're like, what about you? And I was like, um, I'll travel. Like I just I had no answer because I was so consumed in the need to just be in the corporate ladder, make the money. Like, and it comes back to how we talk about our Middle Eastern countries. They don't have time to dream because we're so consumed in survival that we don't even allow ourselves to think about something like that. So that's why for me, when I moved here, I was just like focused on move up the corporate ladder, make more money so that you have financial safety and like you can help your family, like whatever that is, that I never allowed
Mm.
myself to think about all of that. And I don't think anyone have asked me that question. So when you threw it back at me, I was just like really just shocked and I didn't know what to do with it. And that was like my reality check of like, oh wow, like I really don't like I'm like I felt empty. So
Mm.
that was the start of like me shifting away from like gun ho corporate, like this is it, I'm sacrificing my life to that and the money and moving up to like what is it that I really like to do. And I started to like, and I'm still like peeling through those layers, but I will forever be grateful for that moment and meeting you and just the whole change that just happened to my life. Even though it fucked me up in so many ways, because it's easier to just live blinded and just follow what you've been told. Um, but it just life feels more colorful now. Like
You know,
it's hard, but it's colorful. You know what I mean?
it's definitely harder to be awake, and like not, be in the matrix, or at least be awake in the matrix and then be looking around and being like, why are all of these people blindly going in this direction and nobody looks happy? And then that's where that free will that we keep coming up with, that free will conversation comes in, because now it's like your joy is actually in your hands. So yeah, being awake in the matrix is one of the most depressing things that can happen. But if you dare to dream and go with your community and take the steps to believe in yourself, then it becomes, like you said, the most colorful, enjoyable process to believe in yourself and to believe in more for
Mm-hmm.
yourself. It's just getting to the other side of that mountain is really hard, and you're gonna need, people who you love and trust to be there with you.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are feeling the same way. Actually, did you see the poll that I posted on Instagram based on your video?
Yeah, I saw, I think I was gonna respond with D, and then I was like, I don't want to put myself out there with that answer. What was it? I think it was just, I just need a partner.
So you had like the whole video about like what is my future looking like and like how do I like maneuver life and like so anyway, I had a poll for like our people following the page, and then I posted it on our story, and it's interesting that fifth so the options were which one hits you most? I choose but feel lost. I know me but not my path. I decide but wish I didn't. I'm strong but I want a partner. And
Mm.
50% of the people, they're like, I know me but not my path.
Oh, that's interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think that's about?
It's similar to like what I was just saying, what we were just literally talking about. The Matrix is that you know who you are, you keep working on yourself, but you just don't know how to get there. And then sometimes you just need like an Amal in your life to just like shake you up with that question, honestly. Um,
Or you need, so when I said my answer was like D, like I just need a partner, it's kind of how I said that other episode where I was gushing over you. If you need somebody who's going to take your dream and then put actionable steps to it and say, come on, and like drag you by the hair if necessary towards the goal, you know, and that's what you did for me because I could dream all day. Baby, I am full of ideas, but the execution is not where I thrive, you know.
yeah, so I guess that's what it is for you. You need that partner, rather being in marriage or in work or whatever, someone to just like, let's go, we can do
I'm
it.
definitely driven by teams. Yeah, whether it's like a home
Mm.
team or like community stuff, like I am driven by even thinking about Palestine, right? Like I'm driven by the people that are waiting for me to do something for them. And so yeah, I need to know that I'm going to disappoint Noel if I don't, you know, do this for the fifth week in a row. And even then, you're like, hey, it's okay, you know, I'll do it, and then you do it. So it adds even more fuel to this person really has my back, and so it will get me to action. It will get me to to take action more than I would just for myself, which is another conversation because that's kind of sad. Like you should move for yourself
Yeah,
more than anybody else, but another day.
you just need a little hand holding or maybe just encouragement that, or maybe just someone to help you like keep focusing on like the goal. Like this is where we're heading to when you feel like I'm a little down today and you're like, oh no, listen, this is what we're trying to work towards.
I think I'm just scared all the time.
Mm.
I'm always so scared. And so, you know, I don't even know how I got so far in my acting career because that was terrifying. And every step of the way, I was terrified to get up on stage and do stand-up comedy like a fucking psycho.
I can
Uh,
imagine. I would
like,
not be able to do that.
that's probably why I've needed such a long break. Like, in addition to advocating for Palestine being a burnout, I also just was like, I'm terrified every time I want to get on the stage. Like, do I enjoy this? Like, and I do enjoy it because I like being on stage, but the every moment up until I'm up there is like my legs are shaking right now just thinking about it. So yeah, I think when you have a partner to hold your hand, to just sit next to you and say, okay, let's. That's what my friend actually did for me. My friend Henry, shout out to Henry. He doesn't listen to this, but in case, if you know, when I first did my stand-up class, before I could even get to the point of saying my jokes in the class, I sat on a Zoom every week with my friend who was not a comedian. And he was like, come on, just do the joke. And I was like, this feels weird. He was like, just get over it, just do the joke. And like, we just met up every week to go over my goals. And so,
Mm.
you know, I don't think I would have gone to, I would have punked out of going to the class. It's all about who you have in your corner. At least for me, I need a friend.
Yeah.
And that might go back to me being the baby of my family and needing an older sibling to like let me know that everything was okay. So I want to get to a place where I can do that for myself all the time, but it's really hard.
Yeah. Speaking of being the baby to yourself, I know we had a offline conversation about how you're feeling with like sharing those video on your personal profile. Do you want to talk a little bit more about how you're feeling with like what's happening in Palestine and your life and like where is that conflicting of like I need to keep moving on, but I can't because I feel bad that other people might think something of me, or am I just misreading that?
I think it's not just what other people think of me, because I don't think I care that much about that. I mean, to an extent, right? And we can only spend like 5 minutes on this because I really want to talk about her wedding. But I think it's like I know there's so many people directly on the ground in Gaza suffering that do follow me. That's one. Two, I know that, you know, when I follow, you know, Imam Suleiman, right? And he's saying like for us to be distracted and to post other things or to get lost in other things is in a way sinful because it is the distraction. This is the test of this dunya, this world. and to abandon. If it was my sister on the ground in Gaza for real, I there would be nothing else that I talk about or do. And so that shows me that I don't see them as family, and I want to see every human being as family. So it feels instinctively wrong to talk about something else, especially when I know I've made this mistake before. My whole life we know what's happening there, and we move on, we change the subject, we have joy, we live in our luck, and I feel bad about that. So yeah, like when we're posting videos about identity and all this other stuff, I want to share them. I think they're funny or meaningful or whatever, and but then I'll scroll and I'll see another dead child. I'll see a hospital bombed. I'll see another situation. I'm like, I don't want to be talking about silly things when I know other people that I care about are also scrolling and seeing XYZ. On the flip note, or on the other side of that, I do enjoy those moments of levity where I get to laugh about something or think about something else. But that goes to the trap that I was talking about from in the Imam. Like, I don't think I would joke and laugh if it was you in Gaza, you know, I would not stop. And so that's the guilt.
I mean, that's something that you probably can explore with your therapist. My question is, and I only say that because I totally understand what you're saying, but one thing that my husband told me once, that's like 4 or 5 years ago when my grandpa died in Lebanon.
I like them.
Thank you.
Mm.
And my mom was here, and it was Christmas time, and my mom is used to like make us like specifics, like we call them petit four, which is some sort of like a French cookies, and then she only makes them on the holidays usually. So in the Middle East, if like your dad died or someone like closer to you, family dies, usually for like a whole year, you wear black. You should not be celebrating. A lot of shoulds rather than like what you really feel in the moment. And my mom was like really sad about her dad, but she was excited. She was only visiting us for a month for Christmas, and then she knows that's something I look forward to because that's something like we do every year traditionally. And she got excited to, not excited, but she was just making them for me, basically. But she was happy that she's able to do that for me. Um, and there was this conversation within our family about like, is this right or wrong to still make the cookies, even though your dad died like 7 months ago or whatnot at that point? And like, what do you do in that situation? Like, and like you not be feeling bad for like let's say your mom who like she lost her husband too, like you're being insensitive where like you're showing areas where as if you're celebrating for making the cookies. And as we're having this conversation, my husband not being from that culture, having different opinion, he was saying that what I'm hearing is that our culture is taught to you are only allowed to have one emotion at a time.
Mm.
And he was singing, what I'm hearing you guys say is that you can either be happy or sad at once, but we can't have both emotions at the same time. You can be sad that your dad is not with you on this Christmas, but excited that you were able to come and celebrate and be with your son that you haven't seen for not 9, 10 months, because at that time my mom wasn't living with us and she used to just come see me for like a month around Christmas and go back. And you can feel both at the same time. And that changed my life, like that moment in that way, because it is a reality. Like we do live a lot out of guilt, and it just gave me a different perspective that if my mom in the moment was feeling that like she is, it's not like no one is forcing her to do so. If she is able or wanting to get out of her bed and make those cookies because she knows it brings happiness or gives a little celebration of some sort in this moment of our life right now, and she can't go back and change what happened to her father, she can still be sad that her father wasn't is not around that holiday, but can you just not feel both?
I think that's two different things, though. I think, as Arab, like you'll see people sitting right there in Gaza making jokes, laughing. I'm sure they're feeling immense depression and fear and pain while making jokes about life, the oppressor, etc. I think the difference is it feels irresponsible to add to the noise that isn't talking about Palestine. So it normalizes not talking about the problem. It normalizes moving on. That's irresponsible.
You don't think what we're doing right now, we're talking about it in this podcast?
Oh, for sure, but the clips that we're using, like, I think it would also even out, like balance out, which is more work on me, but I think it would balance out if I was doing as many posts as I used to, or even a few posts like I used to help feel like, okay, maybe not all my posts are about Palestine, but at least like one out of every three, or one out of every two, right? Um, but since I know I've been so busy trying to like jump back into the matrix to take care of my debt, I haven't had the time to to or the will or the whatever. Time I think is an excuse because I have the time. I just haven't done it. And so I think that's where the guilt comes from. It feels like another task that I have to make sure I do in order to earn, my fun voice or my other voice or.
Yeah. I mean, my view on the situation as your friend, I see you on a daily basis, at least sharing 5 to 10 stories about resources, situations, updates, news about anything that is going on anywhere where like you can help out. So I don't see you doing anything less. Maybe you're not creating your own material, which makes sense because people who might be following you don't know what's going on really, like behind the scenes in your personal life. Work might be extremely stressful, might be really demanding. You might be just exhausted. I mean, you're feeling what you're posting on your stories, and maybe can't even get to do it. Maybe you can do more posts, whatever it is, but I don't think that you're not helping by just doing that. The only difference is what we're doing here is much easier to do from what you used to do because I think one post of you requires so much research. Like it takes probably 8 to 9 hours of work of editing, filming, doing all of that to post that 30 seconds, 1 minute clip. And what we're doing with this
Mhm.
podcast, we're literally sitting down recording for an hour, dump this into a software, and the software is generating those videos for us. Um, that is not really comparable, I guess, between the two. So, with that said, I don't think, I just personally don't think that you're not doing the same. You're doing your share of like what it is or what you can
Mhm.
do. But it might be just like a guilt on your end of like, I need to do more. Um,
Yeah, so I'll say this, that I need to take my own advice because in PAL Perspective, the weekly movie club that I do, we had a session last week where everybody got in the room and I felt defeat in the air. Like I was like nobody could even muster like laughter that day. And so I was like, all right, we're not gonna watch anything. Let's do a check-in. Let's talk. So I offered a writing prompt that was like, what are you holding that nobody can see? And I told everybody to just write for 10 minutes and then share whatever they felt like sharing. And everybody down the line was talking about imposter syndrome, fatigue, feeling like they're not doing enough, feeling like this is never going to end. And it's just dread from everyone. And what struck me the most is like there's different levels of people doing things. And when I say, like, if we're comparing what I do, sharing stories, to what they do, like hosting fundraisers on a weekly basis, and I see what they're posting, they were the ones still feeling like they're not doing enough. And so what I told them, specifically this one girl really got to me because she said they host TikTok lives with Gaza journalists. And then do the fundraiser, it turns into virtual coins, and then they give that money that night for people to eat. Somehow it translates into meals. And she was just feeling so bad, and because it's not saving Palestine, and I was like, if you are a mother that is trying to feed her children, that meant the world to her.
Mm,
That one day of your work, that one share where you shared somebody in Gaza's voice, like that meant the world to
mm-hmm.
them. Even if it's their last day on earth, it meant something. So if you're only doing this for the quote unquote like free Palestine, you're in it for the wrong reason. You need to be in this because you care about other human beings and you want a liberated world. You want no one to suffer. And so your end game should be, I want to live a life where I help people. I want to live a life where if someone is struggling, I speak up for them. And that's lifelong. So you're not waiting for that end date. And so I think if I think about it like that and say, my values are I'm the kind of person who helps people, I'm the kind of person who speaks up for people, and I dream, I have joy, I love, I whatever, then it makes it easier to not think about the guilt. It's just hard to take that advice every day, you
Yeah.
know?
And I agree, and I think it's always good to have that balance because, like, even when we're doing over here, like with this podcast, like, hopefully the goal is that for this podcast to become, where you have enough listeners and people want to listen to it, where like our voice is getting heard even more. I don't know if there isn't enough information out there. We can share that information in different ways. People who are seeking it and looking for it are seeking it and looking for it. But a part of like what I think we're doing is important because we're just growing our base to a point where like we are just people. We're just
Mm-hmm.
people that are Palestinians and we have a voice and we're successful, hopefully. And there's
We
a reason,
are.
yeah, and we are using that voice in a way that we can spread more awareness in the areas that we can. Um, I do think this is important, and the main reason, in my opinion, especially living in Lebanon and coming here and seeing how it is, I was like, wait, you guys don't know that? Like when I heard how people were talking about Palestine or the situation in the Middle East, I'm like, how did you like not? And then I was like, oh wait, I was living there. I knew all of that. Our voice over there was not making it here because we didn't have
Mm,
people speaking English. There wasn't social media. There wasn't that. We are there now. Like now, even me and you, able to speak English, being Palestinians, thriving over here, getting more successful with time and like expanding our base more. I think this by itself is the help that we could, get to a place where like that change will start happening because it's like I know Emma, she's Palestinian. That's her opinion. That's what she believes about the situation. And I don't think she's a horrible person. What you guys have been telling me is bullshit. And it's a lie.
mm,
And that's kind of how at least I process it on my end. Because otherwise, you're just hoping that people, they're just gonna wake up and like, because I share more about that one information, like I think there's kind of this recycling of like the people who are willing and wanting to hear are hearing already, are doing the research themselves. I didn't have to explain much to my husband. He just woke up and he just understood the assignment. Like he did the research on his own. Literally, I'm not exaggerating. He actually was ahead of me. I was at the but you know what I mean? Like if you're there,
mm,
you're there. If you're not, it's kind of a lost cause. I don't think you're gonna change your mind, but what I can do is I can work on myself. I can just keep improving on myself, being more successful so that future generations, more people that are coming up that are like getting used to hear this is the representation that I want to show. And if you come around, great for you. If you don't come around, then enjoy your sad life.
I think that's valid, and I think, like you said, like we deserve to thrive, not just for our individual like lives and selves, but also for those who are going to come after us. They need examples, and they need to have something to aspire to, or someone to connect with that can be like, oh, we already set up a podcast. I can tell you step by step what to do.
Yeah.
And so, I think we deserve to be seen in all of our light, and but it's just hard, which you know.
Yeah. I mean, one of the biggest things for us is that video that is going viral on our page. The highlight is that Palestinian successful. People are like
Mm.
losing it. But do you know, like it's literally that. If you really strip it down to what it is, it's just a Palestinian that for people is just like, like I didn't think a Palestinian could be doing that. And then successful, you created what? And then you're putting those together. It was such a mind-blowing thing that people are feeling that interest of like, I want to share that information. Um,
Which really shouldn't be mind blowing. I mean, we have Jesus. Like, I don't understand. Like,
True.
what else do you guys
True,
want?
true, true. Maybe that's our next video. Did you know that Jesus is Palestinian?
And then that will just get shared. But
Yeah,
if people don't know that by now, they're just whatever. Okay, wedding. Talk to
wedding.
me.
You should have probably reacted shocked that you didn't know that Jesus was Palestinian, because
Okay, do again, do
that was the
again.
element of the video. Did you know that now you can't even fake it? Back to the wedding. Okay, so
Back to the wedding.
couple really interesting things about the trip in Mexico. So I've been to Mexico
Oh wait,
once.
so that girl is the one who introduced us. To go back to the backstory that we started, the one who introduced us is his cousin, is the one who got married.
Yes, my cousin got married, and my cousin is the one who introduced Emil and I together. Um, and I've been to Mexico once, and we went to Cancun, and it was like an all-inclusive resort. Very different experience than this trip. This trip we went to like, I think it was like 2 hours south from Tijuana, and it's called Valle de Guadalupe. I think it's Valle de Guadalupe. Amazing place. It's like it gives like Napa Valley, like North California, but like on the south. It's mainly like grapevines everywhere, like wineries and olive trees everywhere. Like where they got married, it's just actually they just put like a bunch of chairs in the middle of like olive trees on both sides. It was just covered in olive trees.
Wow.
Amazing, amazing. Um, but I say that because one of the big things, like for us in this experience, is that when you go to Cancun, it's very like Americanized. Everybody speaks English. The food is honestly not that good because it's very like, here's sour cream on your taco. That's what you guys like, sour cream, right? Here's some more sour cream. And it's just like not the authentic like Mexican, culture vibes food. Um, Valle de Guatemala is very different. Like people barely speak English, so it really pushes you. I mean, I don't speak Spanish. Like I know a couple of words, but it pushes you to like it to you put yourself in like this not comfortable place where like you have to like I'm using like Google Translate. I'm like talking to Google and like playing the voice for them like in Spanish of like what I'm trying to say. They're doing the same like communication. But it's such a humbling experience because I am the minority between them. They're just sitting there talking to each other in Spanish and I'm just sitting there like are they just welcoming me or just talking shit about me? Like, I don't even know, but it's uncomfortable, but you just have to like trust the process and like just, you know, blend in and hope that everything works out. So it just gives it like a different perspective of like what's freaking going on with immigration here and like speak English and like what's going on in the US. So that was like a
Mm.
huge, honestly, like highlight for both of us. Like even my husband, like he speaks a little bit more Spanish, but we both were kind of tag teaming, trying to figure out like what they're asking us to try to kind of communicate. Um, but yeah, the food was amazing. The location itself is just gorgeous. Like everything is just beautiful. Um, and then the best thing is the wedding. I
Mm.
tell you, it is the best wedding that I've ever been to in my life, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm talking like anywhere. My family's wedding. I'm talking like close people in my life's wedding that topped it. What was so beautiful about the wedding is the people. Like my cousin and her husband, they created this amazing group of people who were there, so diverse, and everyone is there just to love them. Like I genuinely, I'm telling you, you can feel it everywhere. There, this is the first time that we would go to a wedding and we're not like, oh, this is the gay couple, like, and people like just like, oh, this is what they look like, two men standing next to each other, you know? We were like the LGBT couple number like maybe 16 in that wedding. Like we're just like no one gives a fuck. Like who are you? Like it's just like you're just there. But again, this is like a heterosexual wedding, but that tells you about like that that group of family and environment that they created around them, that everyone was just like everybody flew there. People coming from Australia, people came from like New York, LA, Florida, like so many different places just to be there to like celebrate them. You have to love someone that much to actually travel and spend that money to just be there. And like like the bridesmaid and the wedding, like the day before the wedding, two of their bridesmaid, they're actually like a lesbian couple. They came up and like they did a whole speech about like how close they are to them, and they have like a group message, like one of the girls related to the husband, the other girl related to like to the wife, and like how like they kind of resolved like couple conflicts through this group message because they're all arguing with each other, like whatever it is. But that set the tone to everyone, and that's not something you'd see like usually in a heterosexual like wedding, where like you have like a couple that is like LGBT that is like opening up for everyone, just going out there doing their speech, talking about the memories they have with that couple. They just like pure love. Um, like the person who married them, do you know Rola Selbach?
Yes.
She actually was the one who officiated their wedding, and then she has a
Wow.
wife too. And like during like that wedding, like she was like talking about like how her and her wife and how that translates into that wedding. And there was like poem from like Gibran Khalil Gibran being, like they said that during the wedding. And then talking about, because her husband is like has Italian roots and my cousin has like Palestinian roots, and how like the olive trees, that was kind of like the bonding for two of them. That's why they wanted to be there. And their wedding gifts to people back was like little bottles of like olive oil. I'm just so, everything was so cute. It was so emotional. It was just pure love. Like people talking to us, like my husband and I, they were like, how did you guys meet each other? Like, oh, how long have you been married? Oh, wow, 8 years. You guys should go give advice to like, the bride and like the husband. But it felt, you know what I mean? Like this is something as a gay couple you don't experience in gay weddings or just in like heterosexual environments. Most people try to like, I don't want to ask you how you met because what if you're gonna tell me how you guys sleep together at night? Like this is where people I think assume the conversation. You know what I mean? It just like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
just
yeah.
felt so like natural, relaxing, like I can't. Everything. Everything was amazing. The music. They had Hispanic friends. They had Black friends. They had Indian friends. The music was such a mix. Like they had a Zeffe Depke, like Italian music for the husband. One of like the bridesmaids, the one that I told you about, who's actually a lesbian too. They played like a Bollywood song, and then she just like crashed in the middle of everyone. She just like doing like Bollywood like dancing music. Everybody was just like losing it. It was just amazing. Like playing Another Me Palestinian like in the middle of Mexico, and everybody's just like losing their mind. Like it was so much love in this wedding. It was so diverse. Like remember how we talked about like my trip Lebanon and Egypt, where like you can't feel this way here. Like if you're LGBT here, you can be open about that, but not about your Palestinian. You can be open with Palestinian, but not the LGBT. This is the first time in my life I experience what it feels like to just be.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That's so sad,
Yeah.
but also like exciting and like I'm so happy for you. But obviously I'm like, really? This is the first time that all
Yeah.
of your identities could be in the same space and like thrive is amazing. And I can definitely see it in the videos from her stories where like She legit looked like the most genuinely happy bride I've ever seen. Like, she was genuinely shining.
Yeah,
And then even all the guests were like cheesing from ear to ear the whole time. So it looked like it looked like, yeah, like a family, like a community,
yeah,
like a utopia.
yeah. And like the speeches, like I love like her mom. Okay, just imagine. Usually when you go to a wedding, who does speeches? Best man,
The
bridesmaid, or
Yeah.
whatever, whoever.
And then maybe the father of the bride.
Yes, yes. His dad had a speech. His mom wrote a poem. His dad had a speech, and his mom had a speech. Her brother had a poem on the wedding. The two couple before the night before, they had their own speech, and they had the bridesmaid speech, and everybody just didn't know how to like keep pouring love into this wedding. Her mom's speech, I was like crying the whole time, telling how like so her mom talking to her, like she shared a lot of like deep important like stuff about even like the Palestine identity and being like in like growing up in Lebanon, and me and her, we were both like bonding. We're like, you get me, because she experienced my life too, going to Australia, and like how things are going there or whatnot. But like her, like in her poem, she was saying how like at 17, when she told her that like I need to move, like I need to go pursue like my acting career, and she's like moving to New York. And then like she was like she had like as a mom, your kid at 17, you're gonna trust to just send them like miles away, 17 years old. But like she had to just let go because it's more important for her that that girl go and chases her dream. I lost it. Like I told her the next day, like when I saw her mom was
Mm.
talking to her, and she's like, "It was hard, Noel, but honestly, she's like, I had so many things that I wish I could have done in my life, and like I wanted that for my daughter, like in that sense. It's just I'm just so overwhelmed by how beautiful everything was, and just an amazing wedding, just amazing, amazing.
That makes me happy too because of like think about the amount of like cultures that you just said exist just between the bride and groom from Italian, Australian, Lebanese, Palestinian, and then having everybody in the space be so normal about things that other people are not normal about. I'm telling you, like I wish I was there. Like I'm about to call her and be like, listen, I don't know if you're gonna do another party, but like I want in on this one.
Honestly,
Um,
it's yes, yes. Yeah, I wish you were there too to experience that, because it's just nothing like it. Nothing like it. Like even the shame that we have about like stuff about within our culture, like the minute you're not supposed to do this as a girl, you're not supposed to do that as a man, you're not supposed to do none of that. Like both of their
of
parents
course
about
not.
everything, like they're just so much love that they just poured into their kids. It's just like we just want you guys to be happy, and you can see that in them because of the group of people that they have around them. They're just genuine good people. We literally, like my husband and I, we came back. We had like over 25 people like that we're connected with on social media. We still talk to them now. Like everybody just became friends with everybody. Like literally everyone. We're like still talking
Yeah,
to
it
them.
sounds like
Like
it.
her cousins from Australia is like, you guys are my cousins. Like you're gonna come back to Australia. Like I was just like messaging one of them who just like they went to New York. And it's just amazing people. I just yeah. It just we didn't want to come back. That's how it felt. Like Dad and I were like, it felt like we went to summer camp. We made all this group of friends, and like now we're back to school. Like we don't want to do that. So yeah.
Was the Khalil Gibran poem the one about parents and their kids and how they're supposed to like
Yes, it
fill
was
into their
actually about
yeah.
the marriage, and like how, and that's what her brother was saying, which I thought that was a beautiful poem. Like if I would get married again, like that's something I want people to say in my wedding. If you get married, I'm gonna read
Mm,
that poem in your wedding. Um,
got
but
you.
I love it that it's just like, be together, but keep space for like the wind of life to go through so that you don't lose yourself, because you're not one. You're there to support each other, but you don't lose yourself within each. It's just the whole thing, and about the parents, how like these are your kids, but they don't belong to you. They belong to life. They
Hmm.
come through you. It's just yeah,
Yeah, that's from The Prophet.
yeah,
I love that one.
yeah.
That's my favorite.
But I love that they did that
Um,
during the ceremony. Like that was like reminder, this is what I need to send you with. Yeah, I just thought that was amazing.
You just gave me life.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to get married because I don't think it's gonna be that way. If it can't be olive trees and like 16 gay couples, I don't want it.
I wish this to everyone who's getting married. I really,
Mm.
really do. Because if I'm a just a guest and I know my cousin, like I was talking to her and I can see how overwhelmed she is with like everything that is happening. Like the people, like genuine love. I have not, I don't have enough words to talk about. Yeah,
Mashallah, mashallah,
yeah,
mashallah. Hopefully they
yeah,
have that community their whole lives.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they've been together for 11 years and just decided to get married. But
Yeah. And her brother too. I really wish I could meet her brother in person because I've only had like one interaction with him, but he's ridiculously smart. Like,
oh, he
mashallah.
is, yep.
I am in awe of like your whole family. Like,
Thank you.
so far, no thumbs down. Your mama, you, like
Oh,
your cousin, everyone that I've met. It's
thank
been
you.
amazing.
We should make a meetup with my cousin and go maybe to LA or something and
Hell
go like
yes,
spend a
yeah.
weekend with them or something like that.
We can definitely do that.
Yes.
That could even be a quick couples trip.
Yeah.
Like that could be a quick
Yeah, I
weekend.
think that would be fun. Yes. I think we all would get together. Her husband, I don't know if, have you met her husband before?
I think just a hello goodbye when I went to Cali last time to hang out with her. Like I saw him on the way out.
Oh my God, what a gentleman. He is
Mm,
such a mensch. Like amazing,
a
amazing.
what?
A mensch like a gentleman.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I think that's in Hebrew. My husband's family, they affect me. I think so. That's what they say usually, like a gentleman. They say like he's such a mensch, like a good,
I wish I could have been at
solid
your wedding.
person. Yeah, I wish a lot of people a lot of friends that came after my wedding, and we lost a lot of friends that were in our wedding that we don't talk to. I wish the people that I have in my life now were in my wedding, but
You should do a 10-year anniversary renewal of vows.
oh, maybe we should. We're coming up to it
Yeah.
almost in 3 years.
Okay.
Because
We'll start planning
people
from there.
do 10 years, they do 25 years, 50, and so on, right? That's
Yeah,
what
I
they.
mean, you could do whatever the hell you
Yeah,
want,
yeah.
honestly. But yeah, like a vow renewal is usually like more years.
Damn, I just noticed we're 1 hour in.
Okay, so it's time to say goodbye until next week.
Yes, we'll talk again next week.
Inshallah. All right. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed this conversation, please consider leaving a comment and a review. It helps us improve and reach more people.
We're all just trying to figure it out one conversation at a time. So go easy on yourself, trust the process, and remember, it's okay, Habibi.